Hello, my friends. How are you doing today? So today we're gonna be talking about something very interesting on chapter of persistence of the Think and Grow Rich book. Um, there is a no, sorry, not the chapter of persistence, but the chapter of faith of the Think and Grow Rich. There is a formula that's called the self confidence formula. And I will recommend to you to memorize this formula, okay? And repeat it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you the first formula. There's five formulas here. Not formulas, but comments. And we're going to talk about it. And we're going to talk about it, what it means, that particular one, because I don't want to keep it too long. So it said like this: I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose. Therefore, I demand of myself persistence, aggressive, and continuous action towards its attainment. Now, very important, when you say to yourself that you have the ability, it's an affirmation that you are able to do whatever you put yourself into it. When you say you have the ability to achieve, to accomplish the object of my definite purpose, right? So Think and Grow Rich talk about having a definite purpose. When we also talk about goals, but not simply any goal, but it has to be a goal that you are falling in love. I always said to my clients, when you fall in love of something or someone, you do whatever it takes to be with that person, or you do whatever it takes to accomplish what you want. So, in other words, you commit yourself to be successful, because when you love something, no matter what happened around you, you will always persist. And even the circumstances could be not very on your favor, you will do it. For example, I've seen it several times when you find someone who wants to marry as a particular person, and families are not agreeing with that, and what do? They still get married. They even did a play with Romeo and Juliet, of two people of opposite families. The families are in war between them, and Romeo and Juliet, they just want to be together, right? And so they did the impossible. They make it possible to be together. But Romeo and Juliet as a drama, at the end, both die. I think so. Both die because one fake death, the other person commits suicide, and the other person commits suicide because the first person commits suicide. But the love goes to beyond or the understanding of most people. So definite purpose, and I always saying purpose has to be something greater than you, something who will lead you in a direction where you will not. It's not something like money, right? Of course, money is important because it pay for our lifestyle. But for example, I had a friend of mine talk to me once that my purpose is to make sure that my grandkids go to college and have a good education. And when he talked to me, he wasn't even married, right? But he was told the same thing from his family. So the purpose of being successful wasn't about getting a good car or getting a house. It was greater than that. It was making sure the future generation of my lineage, right? My the line of my family will have a good life, right? It could have education and opportunities and all that. And they were actually very successful. Their grandfather, here in Naples, where I live, Naples, Florida, he bought about 100 years ago. The I don't know if 100 years, but maybe 60 years ago, he bought um, land for about $100 an acre, and he is now selling that land for about $20,000 an acre, and they're still buying land, right? So say they sell and buy because they know 3 generations down they're going to benefit from that as well. So you acknowledge yourself that you have the ability to achieve the goal that you have, the object of your definite purpose. You can achieve it. Doesn't matter how far down the road it is. The farther it goes, as long as the purpose is strong, it motivates you, right? It motivates you to get there. However, it does show something very interesting. It said, therefore, I demand of myself persistence, aggressive, and continuous action towards its attainment. So, in other ways, the reason is said, I demand of myself persistent, aggressive, and continuous action. First, persistence. Now, you demand of yourself because when you have a purpose, there's going to be certain blocks or stones or distractions on the road, and you will feel attractive to get distracted or to lose faith on your end result because of that. So you have to demand it means it also means that we have a natural tendency, like I was explained before, to fall into our bad habits, right? We have a natural tendency, and we explain that the reason of the bad habit is because of the dopamine, right? The dopamine that your mind playing games with you, fill you with dopamine. Dopamine is a good thing, not a bad thing, but it fill you with dopamine. Dopamine is a responsible of causing motivation. You do things like I'm talking with you, or anything that you need to do. For example, when you're in love, the injection of dopamine is very high because there's a motivation for you to accomplish your end result. And so bad habits have a tendency to give you this instant gratification feeling by filling you with dopamine, while good habits don't have that ability. There is a way for you to give yourself that dopamine so you can get aligned with doing your good habits. And so you have to demand of yourself, right? So it's like you have two people inside of you. One person is kind of lazy and doesn't want to do it, and the other person said you got to do it. So you have to demand yourself that persistence. It has to be aggressive. And what I mean aggressive, it has to be something you never had done before, right? So the aggressive is the attitude of doing whatever it takes to get what I want in life. And continuous action, like I was talking recently with a prospect. She wanted to she knew that she could do many things. And I was telling her, well, I mean, you haven't done it, right? And she said, well, I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do. It's just I don't feel like doing it. I said, right, because you need to take action. If you don't take action, even you know what you're doing or you know what you need to do, but you don't doing it, well, we know it's a paradigm that is blocking you, not allowing you to do it. But the action has to be continuing, right? Eh, in achieving the goal towards its attainment, the attainment of the definite purpose, right? So continuing works this way. If you have to prepare yourself for a marathon in 25 days from today, and you are allowed to have 24 hours of training, what would be the right way to do it? If you train every day 1 hour, or if you train the day before 24 hours, you're still using 24 hours for in total. So the continuous is something you gotta do every single day. If you work in yourself every day, by the end of the 24 days, you have better chances to finish a marathon than if you go to the gym the day before and train for 24 hours. The day of the marathon, you're not going to be able to move because your muscles is going to not work, right? So that is a continuous action. Continuous action is that repetitive actions and behavior and optimism that you gotta face every single day. So, for example, I read the book that I have here is the Atomic Habit. I really like this book because maybe you don't, maybe you know, maybe you don't. I had it in some place, but about 3 trillion atoms, 3 trillion atoms are part of a cell. But there's about 100 cells, 100 million cells that are in a baby. When a baby is formed in the womb of the mother, there's about 300 million cells there, and each cell uh, have about, I don't think so. It's, like I said, 2 or 3 trillion atoms, right? And so what it means with atomic habit, and I love the concept, is that the habit is what you do every day, what is contribute what you're going to get a year from today. But it's not even what you're doing today, but it's what you're doing every second of the day. So you see, a habit is not only what you do, habit, the doing is a consequence of the habit. The habit is actually a feeling, right? So in other ways, you create, you have an idea in your mind, you have thoughts. Okay, you have thought, think, and the accumulation of the thought will produce an idea. And the repetitiveness of that idea in your mind create a habit. So the idea is in your conscious mind, your thoughts and ideas and your conscious mind. And when you internalize into your subconscious mind, which will be to believe it in your heart, right? You go to subconscious mind is your feelings and emotion, and we act based on feeling and emotion. When people said, I gotta think about it. I don't like to act emotional to when I make a decision. Well, let me tell you something. That person is acting based on emotions. He's saying no because of emotion, say yes because of emotion. And when the person say, well, I thought about it, and I'm thinking I'm not gonna do this what I want you what you asked me to do, and guess what? Because she got in the emotion of fear, and she doesn't believe in herself, doesn't believe things are going to work. So that what happens. So people buy through emotions and also buy for two reasons: to gain something or not to lose something. That's the only two reasons you buy. And so in this case, because you know that you have the ability to achieve the object of your definite purpose because you're in love with it, you want to gain something. So you're gonna, in other words, you buying the persist to you buying of being persistent, aggressive, and have the continued action towards your attainment. So I strongly recommend, I'll read it again for you guys to focus on this formula. It's in the chapter of faith of Think and Grow Rich. You can buy this book. I think it's like 20 bucks, 20, 30 bucks. You can buy, you can study it too. I always thought about doing like a study group where we can look at this book and read it together and can explain and go deeper into it. We have other things that we study, but maybe will be something interesting. So I'll read it one more time before we go. So it said again, number one, it said, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose. Therefore, I demand of myself persistence, aggressive, and continuous action towards its attainment. And thank you so much for saying here, I'm going to post it for you guys, that persistence is key. Absolutely, persistence is key. Without persistence, you're done. So you don't persist, you're not going to done. But what we teach is this: the behavior is caused by a habit. And she said the behavior is causing your result. You, by changing the behavior, you might change the result temporarily, but not permanently, because you had that behavior because of a habit. So the persistence, instead of change, have the persistence to change the behavior, form the persistence to change the habit. Once you change the habit, then that habit that you just changed will cause the behavior and cause the result. And this is how you achieve quantum leap results in your life. You see, quantum leap is something that wants to happen in your life. It wants to happen. It's something natural in nature that is happening constantly all the time. All the time, quantum leap want to happen to you and it happening in nature. Is our conditioning, our paradigm, who's holding this to happen. So a lot of people said to me, well, I just want to have a quantum leap in my business. Well, You don't have to have a quantum leap. Your quantum leap wants to happen. You need to figure out what is holding the quantum leap to happen, what is holding it back, and normally that problem resides in you, in your paradigm, in your limited belief. And once you're free from that, the quantum leap happens and everything changes. All right, guys. So I don't want to keep it too long. It's only three lines on this, but I look forward to talk to you about the second one. We're gonna talk tomorrow, and we'll move till next week when we finish the success formula talk. Okay, guys. Have an amazing night and enjoy. Bye bye.